G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. Quick shout out to my second channel, Marky Studios, link in the description below, where mainly my mate Connor reads the stories that I don't get to week in, week out. Anyway, with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the Barbie, let's get right into it. Posted by user CuriousCar1, titled, I, 28 male, kissed my daughter's friend's mum, 30 female, and I'm really happy about it. My daughter is 6, and she met her new BFF at the start of the school year. Her mum is a very nice lady. They don't live far either, so we have invited them over a lot. It's become a regular thing for the past 2 months to have them over every weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Either we take the girls out somewhere fun, or we stay in watching movies and do other activities. I spend lots of time alone with her. We can talk for hours about anything, and the next thing we know, time has flown by. Then the butterflies in my stomach and the blushing every time she smiled started hitting me. I've been a full-time single dad for 3 years since my ex decided to walk out on our daughter, so dating has never been on my mind. They spent Christmas Eve and Christmas with us, which led to them staying all weekend. The girls fell asleep on the couch watching Encanto, and it was me and her up for another hour chatting. Had a little bit of wine in me, so of course I blurt out that she looks beautiful right now. Randomly, out of nowhere. In the end, we kissed though, so looks like it worked out for me. My heart was racing so fast. I'm pretty sure my whole face was red as hell because it felt so warm suddenly. We were both smiling like total idiots. Before they left earlier, she kissed my cheek, and man, I just wanted to pull her in. It's my first kiss in years with someone I feel really connected to. It's just been a really great weekend. Very, very happy. In the comments, Kino says, "Oh my goodness, how sweet. Reading things like this when I'm in a funk lifts my spirits. The beginning of a rom-com. I'm gonna save this post, so do us all a favor and give us updates." OP replies, "I'll let you all know. Next part is trying to stop being a chicken and ask her out on a date. I wanted to before she left, but what can I say? My damn brain decided to take a little vacation." Grand Theft Bay replies, "Why don't you set up a playdate/sleepover for the girls, obviously, for New Year's Eve? You can ask her out on a date at midnight. A kiss on the cheek is definite interest from her. Best of luck, OP." And OP replies, "I might ask her out before that, hopefully, but we are definitely spending New Year's together." Lol, yeah, exactly. Just for the girls. Why not do a more adult part of the night? Maybe after the girls fall asleep, you can have a little date in the kitchen, play some music, and enjoy a meal together. You could even suggest changing your outfits and doing yourselves up, and begin your date at 1 o'clock or something. Technical Push says, "Thank you for sharing your beautiful story. It's the small moments like this in life that we always remember. I hope it all works out for you all." And OP replies, "It's definitely a moment I keep replaying in my head right now. I'm hopeful for this. Like honestly, really hopeful. Thanks for reading it. All the support and excitement gets me excited all over again." And now, on to the update. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've got a girlfriend, guys. And let me tell you, as a single father who's usually way too busy to date, that is nothing short of a miracle. I asked her out, and she gave me an enthusiastic yes. It was exciting. It was nerve-wracking. We had dinner the following night without the kids. Got to admit, it did feel a little awkward. No kids there as a distraction, and this was meant to be romantic. We eased into it though. Then we just didn't want the night to end. After dinner, we walked around her whole neighborhood just talking until it was really starting to get late. She looked so beautiful I couldn't stop looking at her. Then last night with the girls I can't even describe how happy it made me. We agreed not to tell them about us being together for a while and no PDA in front of them. So even if it was hard keeping our hands to ourselves, it still felt nice making dinner, watching movies with the kids, and making a comfy pillow fort. They swore they were going to stay awake to watch the ball drop. Famous last words. They were out before 11, kids asleep. Then it was midnight, and we shared our first New Year's kiss. Best night I've had. We did end up getting carried away, but you know what? I don't care. It was amazing. We stayed up all night talking afterwards, chatting about everything. Life, where we want things to go. It's been a long time for sure since I had an intimate conversation like that with anyone. We sure as hell didn't regret staying awake all night when we woke up at 7 a.m. to the kids playing downstairs and asking for breakfast already. Been a chill day today. Can't stop smiling. For me, this is what it's all about. Happy New Year's, everyone. I'm definitely looking forward to all the possibilities. In the comments, JansGuy68 says, spent an hour on Am I the Asshole earlier today. This was a much needed palate cleanser. Well, why would you put yourself through that? Granted, Am I the Asshole, and many other subs on Reddit, can seem like a Nietzschean hellscape, but it's still preferable to working. How sweet. They should make a lovely blended family. The BFFs can become sisters. Reminds me of that sequel to the original Parent Trap. My wife and I ended up the same way. Both single parents, became good friends, our kids are BFFs, and then bam. It's great. When you've got kids and your friends, you see each other in the thick of it and under the best and worst circumstances, and it's real. Honestly, it's great to see such a positive post in the torrential hellstorm of everything else that's on here. Very happy for OP and their partner, not jealous at all. Could never be me. No. Anyway guys, I'd love to know what you think about this one down in the comments below. Let me know. Our next post is by user Major Bummer, titled, My neighbor, whose driveway is parallel to mine, placed wooden planters in my driveway, blocking me from exiting my car. What can I do? Quebec. So we have constant legal problems with this neighbor, and none of them are ever resolved because they're just minimal enough to not be worth talking to a barrister about. But I'm really annoyed with her being brassy enough to put wooden planters in my driveway. They have fallen, and the cars have been scratched. If I need to drive towards the back of my driveway, I cannot exit my car except through the trunk, and she didn't ask to put them there. They're on what is legally my property. Can I use them as a place to put my cigarette butts or something? There are no flowers in them, just dirt. Occasionally they fall over and block my driveway entirely. Can I put flowers in them? If I can't get rid of them, can I at least make them useful? Since they've been on my property for months now, can I just have them thrown out? If I ask her to get rid of them, she will scream at me and make a huge scene. I've had to tow multiple cars from our driveway that were her guests. She's placed random dumpsters in our driveway at 6 a.m. without telling us. I'm sick of letting her petty behavior slide, and at minimum, I just want the planters gone. I've tried moving them back onto her property line, and she's moved them back into my driveway. Edit. A comment disappeared asking if I have documented previous incidents. The answer is yes. However, in Canada, our documentation is limited as both parties need to consent to recordings. So our cameras only point at whoever is at our front door and the very end of our driveway. All of our neighbors were informed about the camera installation and reassured that we were not recording their property. She has moved the planters out of view of the cameras, I have the timestamp app, and am considering taking photos twice a day to prove that they have been abandoned on our property. I'm not sure if this would be worth my time though. The local authorities have other things to do than care about her planters on my property. I even recently called 911 to report a downed power line that posed a danger to anyone walking on the sidewalk. The dispatcher told me, I wish Hydro-Quebec, city's power company, would stop telling people to call us. It's their problem. The cameras have captured other things, such as her letting people park in our driveway, her verbally confronting me while I was standing on my porch by the front door because we towed her illegal worker in our driveway, and her animals wandering onto our property. By illegal, I mean that permission from the city to do construction was not obtained. If anyone wants to make physical changes, /do renovations or construction, you need a permit from the city which protects the workers from being paid unfairly and ensures that safety measures are being taken. She doesn't do that. We wanted to report this to the city, but we're afraid of retaliation. She already tried to kill my dog once prior to installing the cameras. In the comments, Outside Confusion 8 says, a good fence, a tall and solid one. You have the largest choice of colors and themes in price ranges. Also, a good sign on the fence. It can say pretty much whatever you like, but I'd say, no trespassing. Violators will be towed at vehicle owner's expense. Good luck, be safe. Additional attorney says, I'd have a log of dates, times, and what happened, recording or not. That's not small stuff. Almost killed your dog? At some point that may come in useful. Verbally telling someone all infractions you've dealt with hits different than if you produce a 10-page document. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm curious to see what the rest of the advice amounts to. At a minimum, she's trespassing, and you could start reporting every single instance, and then there's a formal trail with the police. First, be certain it is your property. Have you had a survey done? If they are on your property, you can do with them as you please. She has no right placing things on your property. And OP replies, yes, a survey has been done. We have a line marking where her property ends and our property starts. We had to make this clear to her in the past when she wanted to repave her driveway, and we didn't. So we have clashing pavement colors clearly indicating where her property stops. If you are correct, I assume you are, but just to be sure, I'm going to double check some local laws. I think the planters with no plants in them belong in the compost. Since they're made with untreated wood, they're a bit of an environmental hazard anyway. But now I need to look up if untreated wood can be put in the compost. And now, onto the update. My neighbor, or someone that lives in the household, must be on Reddit, because a few days after I made my post here, the planters were moved back onto her property. The next day, they were destroyed and put out for the garbage collectors to dispose of. It seems that all I had to do to solve this issue was post on this subreddit. Color me surprised, but also very pleased that I didn't have to lift a finger to deal with this matter. Seeing as she, or someone she lives with, seems to regularly be on Reddit, you might be seeing more posts from me about other legal issues that she has willingly created or ignored. I'm relieved. This is the easiest and best outcome that I could have wished for. No wasting my breath arguing with her, no need to bring out the pettiness, and she disposed of them herself. Thanks for the advice. Now, it's almost time to enjoy the weekend without climbing out of the trunk of my car. Edit. I've received heaps of messages saying two things. A, I need to burn this account, and B, Quebec is a one-party consent province for recording conversations. I'd like to touch on that if I may. I'm not worried about A because our neighborhood is for the most part made of amazing people to call neighbors. I don't foresee having any issues, especially when public security, think of them as a government-funded neighborhood watch with the authority to issue tickets for non-felony-esque things, is only minutes away. As for B, people DMing me saying that I only need one party to consent to a recording in Quebec are correct if we're in public. In a private setting like my own property where there's an expectation of privacy, I can only film/record what is mine. So if someone walks into the street and starts shouting and making a scene, that's one thing, because everyone else can hear, but if they're simply walking their dog past my house, or they're on an adjacent lot, I can't record them without permission because they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. The law is oddly specific, and we had to double check when installing the cameras. And now in the comments, Repoc21 says, quote, she already tried to kill my dog once prior to installing the cameras. She what? Yeah, burying the lead right there. Yikes. A bad neighbor can make living in even the perfect house a torturous experience. Yep, it's the most important part of finding a house to buy or rent. You can get used to a bad floor plan, but you can't get used to a bad neighbor. And that's where I'm going to end today's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought about that one in the comments down below. See you in the next one. Bye.